We'll be live at 10 a.m. Eastern, getting you ready for Thanksgiving football. Of course, headlined by Skip's Cowboys taking on Saquon Barkley and the Giants, only on Fox. Despite Dak Prescott and the Cowboys getting upset against the Packers this past Sunday, they still find themselves as 2-point favorites, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook, when they travel on up to Minnesota this weekend. Shannon, what does this tell you that the Cowboys are actually 2-point favorites at the Vikings?
Well, it doesn't tell me anything. It's not like Minnesota's getting those points. I don't get why people get caught up in this stuff like this. They were 5-point favorites on the road against Green Bay. What'd that get y'all, Skip? You upset. Gonna get you upset again, too. Watch when you come back here on Monday. 2 weeks in a row, I won't see this. I'll see this. I would love it. Look.
You booking it?
Yeah. We're going to have some deal on it.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so you're talking real big now.
Yep.
You always do this like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then come Friday, you're like, I don't know, you know.
No, I don't.
I just need Dak. I just need Dak.
I'm the opposite of that.
Look, your defense, Skip, you guys are reeling, especially your run defense. And the way to protect your quarterback because your pass win rate is second to none. You guys can get after the quarterback like no other team in the NFL. Parsons, Armstrong, D-Law, all those guys, Fowler, you can get to the quarterback. But in the process now, you don't get a whole lot of credit for stopping the run. Who the number one rush defense? Nobody knows. Nobody cares. But you know who number one in sacks. You know who pressures and QB hits. And that's what has happened to your Cowboys. Your guys want to get those sacks, and you're getting out of your lanes, and people are gashing you.
That is true.
You gave up 43 rushes for 239 against the Bears. You gave up 200 yards against the Packers. You gave up 173 against the Cardinals. Minnesota went and got 147 against the Bills, seventh best rush defense. 173 against the Cardinals, ninth rush defense. 117 against the Bears, 126 against the Packers.
Okay.
So they can run the football also. Now, I understand that you want to, you figure you can get hits on, and I'm sure DQ is telling them this, we get hits on Cousins, we can rattle him.
Yep.
That's where we're going to run old Dalvin Cook and Madison. Going to run them down.
Now they're a week?
Yeah. And guess what? He'll have another chain on after the game.
Really?
He'll go to six chains. Yes. So, Skip, all that, I get it. Vegas been taking some hits lately. Because I'm sure they looked at the Green Bay Packers, had lost 5 straight, 5 points. Man, they're not going to be anything. The Cowboys going to be able to, after what they've been doing, cost them some money. Going to cost you again on Sunday, too.
I think Kirk Cousins will be wearing 8 chains after this game. Maybe let's go to 9 because he's right now 2-8 against Dallas, so it'll go to 2-9. So they ought to put 9 chains around him.
He might be number. You know what? After this week, they might be the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Huh.
You like that?
We're about to chain him up as usual.
Okay. He's a different color this time around.
Here's my reaction to this. I was not only surprised by it, I was pleasantly shocked over this because this is all I need to know. The odds makers, and they're not wrong about this, they're looking at this saying, wait a second, that team is just better than that team, even at that team's place. What has happened the last 2 years? My backup quarterbacks have gone up to Kirk Cousins' home, his building up in Minneapolis, and Andy Dalton beat him 2 years ago, and then Cooper Rush beat him in Cooper Rush's first ever NFL start last year, about this time on a Sunday night game, solo stage game, in Minneapolis. So Kirk Cousins has lost back-to-back years to my backup quarterback. What does that tell you? It tells you we have owned Kirk Cousins since he was in Washington.
Didn't I just tell you he's a different guy now? You don't think he's different than what he was in Washington?
Dak is 4-1 against Kirk Cousins. 4-1.
You like what you saw on Sunday from Dak?
Okay, I agree with you that Kirk Cousins has a new lease on life because when in doubt, he just looks for 18 and just throws it somewhere in that direction, and 18 often goes and snatches it out of the sky.
It's working, too.
Okay, it is working because he is big time. He has not put up big time numbers against my team because last year on Sunday Night Football in his house, Justin Jefferson caught 2 balls for a grand total of 21 yards. Can we hold him to that this team? It's doubtful because he's just flying high right now. But if we could keep him under 100 yards, that would be pretty good.
But you know what he did, Skip? Something that goes unnoticed. Go back and look at that long touchdown run on Dalvin Cook. and see who got that forced safety.
Okay.
It was 18. So he might be required to do some other things other than catching 10, 13, 14 balls. But run the football early, get y'all on y'all heels, make y'all play that man coverage so Diggs can't get that help over the top, and then watch you eat.
Okay. Speaking of receivers, the guy on the other side this coming Sunday up at Minneapolis is a guy who wears number 88 for my team, and he had a coming out party at Green Bay, and it was the only silver lining to the lost night that was at Green Bay, because Dak threw him 15 balls. We just saw one of them, which was ill-fated, but out of those 15, he caught 11 of them for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was his career day, and maybe it was a breakthrough kind of day in which the guy you call CD Damn suddenly said, "Damn, Shannon, watch this." That's what he said.
Okay.
Because I think he looked like a top 10 receiver, and maybe it's right on schedule for him to go up and show up number 18 on the other side, that 88's going to outplay 18 in that game. I think it's got potential.
You think so?
Yes, I do. All right, so what do I know about my team? Well, I know the odds makers are saying, well, we just saw what happened. Through 3 quarters, it was 28-14 Dallas at Green Bay, as it should have been, as you predicted it would be. You said 27-13. So if you'd had a 3 quarters prediction, you would have been right. I said it was going to be 31-28 Dallas, and unfortunately, we did not even attempt the 53-yard field goal that could have made my prediction on point.
I know good well, no guts, no glory. Skip Bayless ain't talking about no field goal. You should have kicked the field goal. You always like when they go for it on 4th down. Now you talking about...
I didn't like that. I didn't like the odds. I didn't like the feel. I didn't like the way Dak had played through the 4th quarter and overtime. He was shrinking, and you think I was joking about this. I almost wish that we could have a new system in place in the National Football League whereby he could play the first 3 quarters and let Cooper Rush close the game. I believe Cooper Rush would have closed that game with a W.
Well, first of all, you wouldn't have had that 14-point lead if Cooper Rush
Okay, well, I just said let Dak play 3 quarters and then let him close. No one's ever done that, but in the other sport, they do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know why. I know it's thinking way outside the box. Maybe that's the box that should be thought outside of when it comes to my team. So what do I know? My team is still the number 1 pass rush team in pro football. I believe we will knock down Kirk Cousins 2 or 3 times, and I think it will shake him up because his helmet always looks too big for his body, right?
Yeah.
It just looks like he's fragile underneath that
You got that computer going on in there.
Does he?
Yeah,
Really?
Processing information.
So I'm looking at QBR, my favorite stat, as you always say. Kirk Cousins ranks 20th in QBR. He's having a magical, mystical year, but he's 20th in QBR, and he's graded by Pro Football Focus as the 14th best. So he's kind of a middle-of-the-pack Dak kind of a quarterback.
Yeah, but
right?
that's what I've been telling you about Dak.
Okay. So he struggles against Dallas. My 2 backups beat him the last 2 years. And we have the number 1 pass rush. I think it's a formula for us to go up and win this game fairly decisively.
You had the number 1 pass rush in Green Bay.
Okay, we did. And we got him early, and we had him on the ropes, and my quarterback threw it to them
What
twice.
you going to do about that rush defense, though?
Okay.
What y'all got in the rush defense? What's y'all rush defense rank? 29? Is that good?
Okay, a lot of that is preparation, and then it's just emotion. It's just, how much do you want this? To me, stopping the run is just about guts and glory. It's about... I'm just not going to let this happen anymore. It's not really about talent or size or strength. It's really about intensity. Do you go out and say, we're just not going to allow this? Am I going to control my gap? Am I going to hold my gap where they can't blow me off the ball? Is my team... Can Minnesota just blow me off the ball? No, it's about gap control.
Yeah, but a lot of times, Skip, when you get sacks and you get the praise for getting sacks.
Okay, you're rushing out of your lane.
Thank you.
So you open lanes everywhere.
Thank you.
Coach Landry used to preach to his team, and he would preach to me about gap control.
Gap integrity.
It's all about that flex defense. It was the weirdest looking concoction I ever saw because he's setting some defensive linemen off the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Some are up, some are a little back, like a half yard back.
Right.
And it was because of stop the run gap control where they're harder to find and harder to block for the guards and tackles. And so it in his mind would disrupt teams, even though by the end it got blown up.
Oh, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
If you do anything
they'll figure it out. Okay, so they figured out that my guys like to tee off, and you can just blow right past them on run plays that are schemed to take advantage of their sort of overreaction trying to get to the quarterback. Okay, I got it, but you can fix that. That is fixable, and I believe they better fix it because Dalvin Cook, I just saw him go 81 yards for the 27-17 touchdown that absolutely changed that game. It got them back in the game. It put Kirk Cousins in position to pull off yet another Minnesota miracle.
You know what, Skip? I think CD will have more success if he changed his number. If you look at all the receivers that's lighted up this year, they got single digit, they got low numbers. The 10s, D-Hop, Tyreek, Cooper Kupp, 14, Stephon Diggs, the 2 17s, Waddle and Adams. You look at 18, Jordan Jefferson.
Okay, I don't disagree with that, but there's a larger point there. When you look at the legacy he's trying to live up to, it's just impossible, man. It's just too many 88s.
Don't you want to create your own legacy?
Well, he said he did, but he got pressured into it by Michael Irvin. Our guy Michael just said, hey, you're next.
I mean, can you imagine if he had that 2 like he was in college? Skip?
Well, he wanted the 2 originally.
Yes.
He chose 2 originally, and they said no because the mantle just got passed. The torch got passed to you. You have to wear 88.
I mean, now, Skip, it's almost I look to see receivers in single digit or low numbers. I ain't even looking to see no 80. I already know, now it used to be single digit numbers, Skip. They gave those the numbers to guys that wasn't gonna make the team.
Okay.
Now it seems like they're giving 80 guys giving 80 numbers to the guys that ain't gonna make the team because all the receivers, they want low numbers.
Hey, I believe in this concept. I believe that CeeDee Lamb in his deep subconscious, he doesn't love when he looks in the mirror in the locker room before the game. He's like, I don't want to be 88.
It's just something about those low numbers now that just like.
You feel sleeker, you feel faster, you feel lighter. I don't know, maybe you feel